Ready, Sherry?
Ready, sure.
Okay, here we go.
Regular meeting of Washington, Missouri City Council, Tuesday, February 17th, 2026, 7 p.m. Baird?
Here.
Briggs? Coulter?
Here.
Hydrich?
Here.
Holtmeyer?
Here.
Packey?
Here.
Etzel?
Here.
Solentrop. Please rise for pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will all the council members answer if they have or have not read the minutes of the council meeting dated February 2nd, 2026? Fair?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Hydrich?
Aye.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Packey?
Yes.
Pepsi?
Yes.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Bear, second by Coulter to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Approval and adjustment of agenda, including consent agenda. You have the collector's treasurer's report summary for October 2025, monthly investment report for October 2025, and landfill record destruction request.
Make a motion. Second.
Motion by Holtmeyer, second by Bear. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
Priority items, mayor's presentations, appointments, and reappointments. Police department appointment.
Good evening again, Council. I'd like to introduce Kylie Gailey. We sponsored her throughout the last semester of her academy, and she recently graduated last week, Thursday, was it? Wednesday. I was close. Last week, Wednesday. I was there. We're pleased to learn that she was actually the honor graduate for Academy class. So
Great.
yeah, so I think we got a good one. So I'd like to recommend her for approval for full-time police officer.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Packey, second by Hydrich to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Welcome to Washington.
Welcome aboard.
Citizens' comments.
If anyone in the audience would like to come up and make a comment about anything that is not on the agenda, now is your chance. Sir, can you come and speak into the mic, your name and address, please?
My name is Dan Fisher. I live at 1706 Madison Avenue. A few of us from the neighborhood are here to address the board about the dispensary going in on Caroline Drive. As a neighborhood, this is not something we want. Obviously, we have young kids in the neighborhood. We don't need the added traffic. We don't need the type of people this is bringing to the area. I don't know what we can do about it, but is there anything that we can do about it as a community, as a city? You know, when I was a kid, it was kind of the thing that we wanted to keep drugs out of the community and not legalize them and bring them in right to a neighborhood. That's what we have.
I can address a little bit if just give some background for the rest of the council. We did receive an email, I think, from somebody within your neighborhood. I forgot the lady's name. Shannon Robinson, thank you. And she had asked about the same thing. I know she had a phone call with Aaron last week as well, too, in the office. The property is zoned C2. It's been zoned commercial ever since Gauche had a clinic up there.
Correct.
So it's been in that commercial zoning, like I said, how long? I mean, it's been a long time since I've been here. It's always been zoned commercial. They did request to go ahead and re-subdivide the lot when the property sold. That went through some months back as far as just rezoning it, but I mean, not rezoning it, sorry, platting it and squaring off and creating a new lot, which they meet everything. There's nothing the city could do necessarily about a subdivision as long as they meet our subdivision code. And then as far as dispensaries, the city treated the first one that came, when it became legal in Missouri, we treated them just like any other commercial use that's in our commercial zoning districts. It's retail.
Yeah, it's categorized under retail trade, not listed elsewhere in our use table, which is a permitted use in all commercial zones.
So we conferred back then, this was before the first one came, about, with our attorney to find out, are we classifying this in the right spot? And he said, yes. So if it's zoned commercial, I don't think there's very much that the city can do to go ahead and deny that. She had asked questions about could the city put a buffer or something around that type of use or make it required to be so many feet from a residentially zoned. I have not done any research on it. I haven't asked Aaron in a short time with the city yet to do any research on it. I don't know if any other cities have done that. Most cities have treated it the same way that we have. If it's zoned commercial, they're allowed to go ahead and do it, just like if a drugstore wanted to go in or a liquor store wanted to go in. It does not require a special use, and so if the council at a future date wanted to change those codes, they could. That would be something that would be come from the Planning and Zoning Commission first, and then make a recommendation to this board. But at this time, we've not had any recommendation or even had any discussion. I will tell you that the one dispensary that we have had, which is at 901 First,
That's correct, yep, 901 East First.
that is right adjacent. As a matter of fact, there's a house right behind it, and there's a whole block that's right behind it as well. I will say this, I don't know that we've had any problems with, I think, the traffic that's been over there visiting that dispensary as far as having a problem within the neighborhood. Nothing that I can remember of any other increased police reports, but I'd ask Chief if he's got any memory of anything.
No, I don't recall anything.
So all I can say is that's our experience. It's only been the one that's been in town for.
And I
few
can
years.
understand the traffic not going through that neighborhood, but you literally have to drive through our neighborhood to get there.
Drive up Madison Avenue, yeah.
Yeah. You know, you're passing houses right across the street, 40 feet away, as a family with 3 small children, then myself, some of the other neighbors that have small children in the area.
Understand.
Traffic is already somewhat of an issue in that area. I'm sure you can attest that there's several accidents a year where Madison and 47 meet of people coming in and getting off there. There was one just a few weeks ago in the snow at Madison and Caroline. The added traffic's a concern. The added foot traffic's a concern for us too. We weren't aware, we all try to do a little research. We don't have, the background that you guys do, obviously. We were hoping that there was some kind of buffer zone for dispensaries and neighborhoods. Some states do have that. I'm not sure if Missouri is one of them. I know there's the 1,000-foot rule for schools, churches, daycare centers, stuff like that. Unfortunately, it just barely misses a few of those. But the closest house to this place is about 40 feet away. And it's just our concern, that this is popping up, nobody knew about it. And it's not something we want in our neighborhood.
Understand.
So is there anything that we can do as a community, the neighborhood, to go forth and ask for buffer zones or?
You could request such if like I said, if the Planning and Zoning Commission felt that it was something worth taking up or researching. That's not going to change the permit that was just granted, though. I mean, you can't go retroactively and ask them to go ahead and meet a new code that you adopted if they've submitted their building permit, which I understand they have. So that's, like I said, but for future ones, yes, that could be considered if the city wanted to go ahead and do that.
You guys have anything to say?
Carrie Klinke, 1090 Caroline Drive. I am literally 2 doors down from the Gauche Clinic. Thankfully, I don't have little kids that are going to be running around anymore. My kids are grown. But there are a lot of young kids right there in that corner. I'm disappointed in the city of Washington for not having a better kind of track of what's going in and what's happening in our city. Every entrance to our city is a storage unit, or now a dispensary coming in from the north, and right in the middle of town. The major intersection is now going to be a dispensary. What does that say about Washington? When I moved here 24 years ago, This is not why we chose to move back to Missouri, to Jared's hometown. It was not for what I'm seeing Washington do. And frankly, it ticks me off. Is there anything that we can do about the additional traffic that's going to happen there? Because a dispensary is very different than a doctor's office, which is what was there for years. Is there anything that we can do for that?
Are you asking about the intersection at Madison and 47? Or what traffic exactly are you?
Caroline to Madison and Madison to 47. Right there, especially during school times, which maybe the dispensary won't be there, won't be open during morning school time, but cars coming in to go to Lourdes, there's a lot of traffic there in the morning coming off of Caroline and Madison. In the afternoons, when the dispensary will be open and kids are coming, it's also right across from a bus stop. And I know we've done some research and we've seen some different things, and one thing that we read said that it was as the crow flies, and others information said that it was you had to go through how it would be walking. But Sage B, as the crow flies, is less than 1,000 feet from where the dispensary will be. If I was paying the money to have my kids at Sage B, I would be unhappy to have something that close, even though it's across 47. The other issue that I have is that Caroline already has a lot of issue with first responders needing to be called down to the apartment complex. We're having more and more homeless roam our street, and the speeding. That's gonna make all of that worse than what we already have. My teenagers have been cussed out on 3 different occasions by either homeless or people down the street from the apartments. Come on, is this what Washington is becoming? Is this what you guys want for the city of Washington? It's disappointing at best.
Anyone else like to address the council? Okay.
So I wasn't up there when the first one came on. What we're saying is we treat this as retail, so we wouldn't see this no different than.
Correct. If it's zoned commercial, it's not any different than any other commercial business. If CVS wanted to open up a store up there, for example, it would have been the same thing. We would have issued a building permit, and that would have been it. I do know that when years ago there was some discussion about commercial impact, at least to that intersection there at Madison and 47, when Diana Holdinghausen built her business there at that location, and there was a lot of concerns from the property owners that were along Madison Avenue going north on that same side, well, and even on the other side as well, too. I don't know how much, I mean, I know we've had increased traffic, but we've had increased traffic everywhere throughout the city because we've grown. And we did take a look at Madison Avenue at the time and making some, at least getting access onto 47. I know that there was some discussion at some time about making that a right-in, right-out only, especially when we were having a lot of conversations about when Walmart was going through and they were looking at all of the traffic pattern that was around there. So that's, but like I said, that property up there, I know that Goshen probably didn't have as much traffic as maybe a normal retail operation would have, but it's been zoned commercial for that entire time, so.
Yeah, and I just want to say, I mean, I sympathize with what you're saying, and I understand that. I also think that as we sit here in council, when Ms. Clanky, when you ask us, is this what you really want? It comes down to free enterprise. We don't own the land, and we don't have the right to tell someone what they can or can't put in. All we have as a right is what's in the code. And if it's zoned commercial, and has been zoned commercial for 30, 40, 50 years or whatever.
It's been a while.
Then, I mean, I don't want to sit there and our hands are tied. I mean, they're abiding by all of our codes and therefore building their building with what they choose to do. So does this enlighten us in a situation where, as far as dispensaries go in a city, that we need to make it a different approach? at a different look. Unfortunately, in this situation, retroactively can't go back and make that change. But going forward, if we could,
And we could always go ahead and take a look at it. Like I said, that's not the issue, but we did not experience, I guess, the concerns that were expressed with the first dispensary that was located up there facing 47 and the neighborhood that was right behind them. I mean, if you go out there and go over to that, there's a house right behind that dispensary. And there was some concerns voiced by those as well. I'm not aware of, that's why I was looking at Chief to see if he's got something that that I'm not, that I haven't heard. But if there probably was some at that time after that, yeah, we could have taken a look at it and said, yeah, we want to go ahead and put some type of perimeter around it so that you would have to have same thing that you would have I mean, I think one of the uses, any adult type use, like an adult store, stuff like that, we do have within the code you got to be so many feet away from a residentially zoned area, stuff like that. But I'm not aware of, the only other buffer that I'm aware of is one that we recently passed, the short-term rentals in and around downtown in the R2 zoning district where you cannot propose one if there's one located, I think, within 200 feet.
Yeah, it's 150 feet.
150, thank you.
so for me, we have got numerous issues here. One is, the traffic in the neighborhood. 2, the intersection. And I guess my opinion has been for a long time, MoDOT would not approve that intersection nowadays. It's too close to
Correct.
the stoplight. They would not allow that
Right.
then. So again, I don't travel there often, but the right in, right out only made sense, but we never went forward with that, or MoDOT never made us go forward with that.
Right.
So we didn't at that time. So that intersection, I think, is another issue. If, as you said, the Sage B is that close, is that a question we can look into, Aaron? Is that something that's,
Yeah, so the state of Missouri, I forget who said it, but it is by walking distance. So it's not a direct, and I did measure it for the dispensary company. They asked for a letter of zoning verification to make sure, they were good with our zoning for insurance or whatever they use that letter for. But anywho, so I have measured to Sage B before, and it is, as I forgot who said it, but it is when you draw a line from the dispensary to Sage B that is under 1,000 feet. But when you draw it a line like tracing, if you were going to actually walk there instead of just over property lines, it is over 1,000 feet. And that's what the state of Missouri requires is 1,000 foot distance when from the closest walking path.
okay, so there's a clarification, not in your favor, but clarification.
Well, there was other information that said that it was by the pros.
Gotcha, but according to Aaron's research, it's that meets that criteria.
As best as I can tell, yes.
Right. So Darren, answer this, in our normal commercial to residential, we don't have a 25-foot buffer.
Well, in this case, the lot, I don't know, can you pull up, I mean, I don't know if it would be helpful if you could pull up,
I'm
you can
just
look at
saying-
the map. I think Goshen, correct me if I'm wrong, Goshen's property has already been there adjacent to residential way before you had any buffer yard.
So it's not a special use permit where we're,
And it's not even that.
Putting that in,
It had
right.
been there in place before you ever created a buffer distance, like some type of screening between the two uses. And from what I understand, the dispensary's on the west side of that, which is further away from the residential, at least along Commodore or.
Correct.
sorry,
Yep.
Carolina.
Carolina, I said the wrong one, Powell. So that doesn't come into play. Because and then the rest of it, you just go down to it goes all the way down to Highway 100 right away.
Correct.
It goes to the south, it goes to the west, it goes all the way to Highway 100 right away. And then you have, on the north side, you have the street, so, Caroline.
Right. And I guess the other point was, if there's a homeless or apartment issue, something like that, then that's a non-emergency number, 390-1050, and the police will take care of that. We've got, correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, that's, if there's an issue, that we need to know about that proactively.
Absolutely.
All the time. There's a guy that meets his wife or girlfriend walking down the street very regularly.
Well, if you see that, please call. We don't, like I said, we're all growing. We can't be at every street. I'd like to be on my street all day long too, but it doesn't happen, so that's the case. But I guess I would just suggest, Aaron, if we continue to look into it, maybe it is something that dispensaries in the future, or maybe broaden our adult criteria in the code book as far as buffer zones go. But
Yeah,
again,
like I said,
I still have to say that, I mean, again, I understand your point, but we can't say that the four corners of the city of Washington can only be this, this, and this. And we should be ashamed of ourselves if we let someone bring a business into Washington. That's pretty harsh to say. I mean, and we may disagree on that, but no different than the guy who came to us and told us, don't ever let a car wash go in on that spot at Fish Street and 100.
Yeah.
We have too many car washes in town. Well, that proved that wrong, and it's okay, We deal, it's growing pains for all of us, that's all. So, again, I definitely sympathize with what you guys are doing. I know it went through here months and months ago, but, again, I hate to say this, but our hands are tied as far as that goes at this time. We'll have to look into it in the future.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you.
Report of department heads, 2026, 2027 MoDOT traffic safety grants.
So this is our annual request for highway safety grants. We utilize these funds for overtime, for traffic safety, and then also for some training conferences related to traffic safety.
You need a motion? I'll make that motion.
Motion by Hopmeyer. Do I have a second? Coulter. Second. Thanks, Michael. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
go ahead and send this over to you guys, for you guys to sign, and then just return it to me, because I need, Councilmember Briggs and Councilmember, Sullentrup to sign it. Ordinances and resolutions, and ordinance amending the 2025, 2026 budget of the city of Washington, Missouri.
Hopewell.
Introduced by Hopmeyer.
Good evening, council. Tonight in your packet, I have a budget amendment to the 25-26 budget for your consideration. As you may remember, we had one employee who has been filling the role of two employees in the water department, and that was on a trial basis. Well, as you know, our city is growing, which is good, which is a good thing. And so there's a lot of new utility customers coming in. We probably get maybe 1 to 2 new people coming in every day filling out for new utilities, things like that. And then the new software. So it's making it impossible for one person to complete this role now. So I'm asking you to consider if we could do this budget amendment for one employee, and to break it out into 2 employees like it has been in the past, and the budget amendment would be increased for this current year for $27,500.
Yeah, that's only half the year,
It's
basically.
half the year for
Half the
this year, and
That's
then
the
I'll
reason
have
why
it
we're only
in the budget
requesting
for
that
next year.
amount.
Oh, okay.
So we already have this position out there, I just did not budget it as a
Full-time.
separate position, because we were having it as a full-time, as already a position was being filled. So that's why I didn't have it as a separate position on the budget for this year. So this will be just for about half the year. So I would appreciate your consideration. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
Thanks, Danny.
Sure.
Thanks, Pam. Okay, any other discussion on this, you guys? Second reading.
An ordinance amending the 2025, 2026 budget of the city of Washington, Missouri. Packey,
Yes.
Pedrich,
Aye.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Coulter,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Pepsel.
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7A passes. B, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a public road right-of-way easement deed by and between the city of Washington, Missouri and Front and Jefferson Street LLC.
Bear.
Introduced by Bear.
This is for the Front Street improvement projects. Charles couldn't be here tonight, but I told him that it was okay, I could cover for it. It's just the last, I think, easement that he needed for that project, so happy to try to answer any questions if you have them. It's at Jefferson and Front.
I think there was actually a little change down there in what they requested on that curb.
They wanted half for,
Other discussion, questions? Second reading.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a public road right-of-way easement deed by and between the city of Washington, Missouri and Front and Jefferson Street LLC. Petke,
Yes.
Heidrich,
Aye.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Coulter,
Yes.
Baird,
Yes.
Pepsel.
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7B passes. C, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the city of Washington, Missouri to enter into a sales contract with Hanson's Tree Service and Environmental Resources for mulch grinding services.
Heidrich. Introduced by Heidrich.
Good evening, council. This is the contract to grind up our brush pile we spoke about at the last workshop. Hanson was the low bidder. They've worked with us for the last 3 years. They do a really good job, and we've had really good success with them. And I think on the bottom there, you can also see we got some quotes for rental equipment also.
Sounds good.
Discussion, questions?
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
Second reading.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the city of Washington, Missouri to enter into a sales contract with Hanson's Tree Service and Environmental Resources for mulch grinding services. Petke,
Yes.
Heidrich,
Aye.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Coulter,
Yes.
Baird,
Yes.
Pepsel.
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7C passes. D, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the city of Washington, Missouri to enter into a sales contract with Region Welding for the purchase of a 2026 18-foot equipment trailer.
Heidrich. Introduced by Heidrich.
Good evening, council. This is a trailer that we are gonna mostly use to move our mini excavators, our skid steers, and our steel wheel roller. Currently, we do have one in our inventory that is 25-plus years old. I believe Orville built it at the time. It was all right for moving our smaller skid steers, but over the years, our skid steers are bigger, our mini excavator is bigger, and our roller is bigger. The trailer has gone through some repairs with some welding issues. It's just completely undersized. We do have another equipment trailer that does handle all of our equipment, but a lot of times when the skid steer goes one way or the mini excavator goes another, we're stuck with only one trailer. So this is gonna be an upgrade. As far as the old trailer, it's a custom made, so I don't know how reselling it is gonna go, but we'll look at that. We'll check with some of the other departments. If someone has a use that can put a pump on it or some lightweight stuff, they're more than welcome to, but at this point, it's not gonna work for skid steers and mini excavators and for our steel wheel roller anymore. And if you'll notice also, Region Welding was not the low bid. They were about $200 higher than the next bid. But Region Welding has built our last 2 trailers. They do a fantastic job, great customer service. And anytime we have a problem with the roller or any of our trailers, they jump right on it for us. So good company. So we're recommending them.
Questions, discussion? Thanks, Tony. Second reading.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the city of Washington, Missouri to enter into a sales contract with Region Welding for the purchase of a 2026 18-foot equipment trailer. Petke,
Yes.
Heidrich,
Aye.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Coulter,
Yeah.
Baird,
Yes.
Pepsel.
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7D passes. E, please.
An ordinance approving a boundary adjustment for Schlitt Acres in the city of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri.
Introduced by Holtmeyer.
Good evening, council. This is a boundary adjustment on the south side of town on Highway A here. Just cleaning up some lot lines, consolidating around 10 lots here and creating 2 new lots. The only thing of note is this building here on lot 6 does not meet current setback requirements, but if they wanted to expand or they could not expand or change that building, so it's just non-conforming. It's been that way for forever, but they're just cleaning up the lot lines here. So,
Questions, discussions, guys? Okay, thanks, Eric. Second reading, Sherry.
An ordinance approving a boundary adjustment for Schlitt Acres in the city of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri. Petke,
Yes.
Heidrich,
Aye.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Coulter,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Pepsel.
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7E passes. F, please.
An ordinance approving an amendment to the development plan for acquisition of an industrial tract commonly known as Elmer C. Hyman Industrial Park, providing for the sale of a tract to Patke Properties LLC.
Bear.
Introduced by Bear.
Good evening, council members. This is an ordinance that would allow the city to sell off the 2.8 acre lot, which is just to the north of Sonica North America, their facility in the Hydeman Industrial Park. Mr. Patke wants to purchase this property in order to park additional vehicles onto the lot, which he currently owns the other lot that's just north of this track. This track currently serves as a creek for stormwater runoff for that part of the industrial park. Just to be clear, in the purchase agreement, we've put in there that if Mr. Patke wants to make any alterations to that lot, he has to get approval from our city engineer. So,
Basically, you have to meet our stormwater codes. Keep up
Correct.
with 353, and you'll see later in your packet, there's a preliminary plat and a final plat to go ahead and create the lot. This lot, or this property was never really intended to be for sale. It was never really even marketed for sale, and so it was never even created as a lot. But after Mr. Patke approached 353 and wanted to purchase it for the possibility of a future, like I said, either parking or whatever else, that's his lot, as Aaron said, but that is just to the east there, is the lot that he's got. And so, like I said, that this ordinance approves the sale. Later on, the ordinances will be, or at least the preliminary plat for approval, and then the ordinance for final plat approval to create the lot. But it's still subject to any of your stormwater codes. That hasn't changed. Don't know that they'll be able to utilize all of that lot. If not very much, we'll see. I don't know how much he's gonna be able to, hence the cheap price.
Yeah.
Questions, discussion? Second reading, Sherry.
An ordinance approving an amendment to the development plan for acquisition of an industrial tract commonly known as the Elmer C. Hyman Industrial Park, providing for the sale of a tract to Patke Properties LLC. Patke,
Abstain.
Hydrich,
aye.
Holtmeyer, Coulter,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Pepsel.
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7F passes. G, please.
An ordinance authorizing the city of Washington, Missouri to enter into a First Amendment to Real Property Performance Agreement and First Amendment to Personal Property Performance Agreement with Precoat Metals Washington LLC.
Bear.
Introduced by Bear.
Good evening again, council members. This ordinance simply authorizes the city to change the terms of the original real property and personal property performance agreements associated with the Precoat Metals Chapter 100 performance agreements. If you recall, in 2023, the city council entered into, issued industrial revenue bonds for the construction of the AZZ Precoat industrial facility. Our bond counsel noted that in the performance agreements, there was an error in the formula to calculate the additional pilot payments in those performance agreements. So what this ordinance simply does is it just corrects that formula. So we can calculate those just in case AZZ Precoat were to not meet their 80 job requirement, then this just simply changes the formula or corrects the formula so we can correctly calculate the additional pilot payments.
The formula that Aaron's mentioned, it's located on the second page, or I'm sorry, on the first page of Exhibit A, under paragraph B. You see it down there, that's for the real estate. And then if you look on the personal property, it's on the first page there, also under paragraph B.
Questions? Discussion? Second reading.
An ordinance authorizing the city of Washington, Missouri to enter into a First Amendment to Real Property Performance Agreement and First Amendment to Personal Property Performance Agreement with Precoat Metals Washington LLC. Patke,
Yes.
Hydrich,
Aye.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Coulter,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Pepsel.
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7G passes. 8A, please.
Commission, Committee, and Board Reports, Preliminary Plat Approval, Hydeman Industrial Park, Plat 14.
Good evening. I think that everything, if you have any other questions about this, feel free to ask.
Yeah, this is just the preliminary plat to go ahead and create the lot so that the sale can go through with Padkey.
And we had to create the separate lot just because of the restrictions that we put on that parcel.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second. Motion by Bear, second by Holtmeyer to accept. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Passes. B, please.
An ordinance approving the final plat of Hyman Industrial Park, Plat 14 in the city of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri.
Bear.
Introduced by Bear. Further discussion, guys. Second reading, Sherry.
An ordinance approving the final plat of Hyman Industrial Park, Plat 14 in the city of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri. Patke,
Abstain.
Hydrich,
Aye.
Holtmeyer.
Aye.
Coulter,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Pepsel.
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 8B passes. C, please.
Preliminary plat approval, Stonebridge, Plat 7.
Good evening, council. This is a re-subdivision of a boundary adjustment you all approved in December. In December, you all approved Stonebridge Plat 6, which created this Lot 105R here, and that was for in Stonebridge. They had a buyer who wanted 2 lots, but that deal has since fallen through, so they're just reverting it back to the original configuration here that you see in Plat 7. So it's identical with the original Plat 4, I believe, that was approved. So they're just asking for a reversion of the Plat 4 of Stonebridge. Any questions?
I did have, but you answered them. Thank you.
Take a motion, guys.
Moved.
Motion by Packey,
Second.
second by Bear. All those for this, please say yes or aye.
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 Sorry, guys. Motion passes.
Mixing up on it.
I know. Keeping honest. D, please.
An ordinance approving the final plat of Stonebridge, Plat 7 in the city of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri.
Any further discussion?
No, it's gotta be introduced.
Holtmeyer.
Thank you.
Or Packey,
Yeah. Thank you.
one of us.
Further discussion? Second reading.
An ordinance approving the final plat of Stonebridge, Plat 7 in the city of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri. Patke,
Yes.
Hydrich,
Aye.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Coulter,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Pepsel.
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 8D passes.
By your 6th vote, you went back to what you started with.
Now we got Plat 7. That was Plat 4.
Right.
E, please.
Preliminary plat approval, Applewood Estates, Plat 2.
Good evening, council. This is another re-subdivision. So off Apple Blossom Lane here, off Clay Street. The condominium association here, they all got together and decided to dissolve their condominium association and just turn it into an HOA and subdivide all of their lots. These were formerly duplexes. This map here with the aerial is a little bit deceiving. Our maps have them like that because the county splits up the lots for tax reasons. But these were are currently duplexes. So both units are on one lot. So this is going from 6 units to 12 units, with each person getting their own lot. And the reason you only see the preliminary plat on your agenda tonight is I have some R2 zoning changes that will make this process much easier in the future. And so this preliminary plat and the final plat that you'll see at the next council meeting are conditional on the approval of those zoning changes to the R2 district to make that a little easier. Let's see.
And correct me where I'm wrong, Aaron,
Yeah.
but didn't planning and zoning recommend approval
And
of those code changes?
Correct, yes, and planning and zoning did recommend approval of those code changes unanimously, so we'll kind of get into that, but that's the only thing that
It's off of 9th
I would say is that
No,
It's
off of
off
Clay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Clay.
Right past Casey
Right.
Hall driveway.
Oh, okay, okay.
across from Water.
Close.
All right,
Across from the water tower, right?
all right. Thank you.
Makes sense to make this as easy as we can, because I think it just keeps coming up.
Well,
Banking
what,
changes.
that's, yeah, and I think Aaron, did some more research on it. I mean, and we talked about this back when we tried to change, this was after the 2008, 2009 recession, and the banks didn't want to go ahead and have anything to do with refinancing, anything to do with the condo association. Everybody then wanted to go ahead and have their own lots. At the time, planning and zoning and the council at that time did not want to consider lots less than 6,000 square feet, and that's what poses typically another problem, because then they have to go before the Board of Adjustment to seek a variance to go ahead and get it. Aaron's got a way to go ahead. Basically, it's reducing that minimum lot size is gonna be the main thing that's gonna help you go ahead and expedite it.
if this plat were to be approved under our current approval process without these code changes, they would require a rezoning and a variance to get this done.
Right.
So, it's a lot more bureaucracy, and I'll get you those details for the next council meeting. So,
Further discussion.
All that said, I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Bear. Second by Pepsol. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Mayor's report?
For those of us who are concerned about what's going on in Jeff City, if any of you guys were reading the MML report, there are a flurry of new bills being introduced to address in particular property tax reform. I was in Jeff City last week. I just got back today. Both times I got to, well, this time I only got to talk to Ben Brown, but last week I got to talk to both Brown and John Simmons, expressing our concern that one of the things, not just property tax, when they were considering eliminating, was the food portion of sales tax. It would cost the city $2.6 million. And I don't know if they were aware of that or not, but both of them seem very, very receptive to that. We can't have that. So if you guys are concerned about that, I ask you to read what MML has to say about this flurry of bills. And basically, the legislature and the governor, they want to reduce taxes. And who doesn't? But it would be nice to know some alternatives. And this Friday, I don't know if you're going to talk about that, Darren, but this Friday, at the YMCA at 11-ish or 11:30.
11 to 1 or something like that.
Something like
yeah.
that. There's going to be 4 or 5 of our reps there to answer questions. So I ask you, if you have time, please go to that. It's always interesting, and they need to hear from us.
11:30 to 1.
All I got.
City Administrator's report?
The only thing I have to say is that I know the Sales Tax Renewal Committee is working diligently. They've got a long spreadsheet of speaking engagements that we have over the next month and a half. They did so today in front of Lions Club, but there's several others that we've got on the list here, whatever. So they're deep in the thick of it. Encourage you, we will have 2 public ones, I can tell you, because not all of these speaking engagements are, the meetings are open to the public. There may be, just different private groups that the committee decided to go ahead and present to. But we will have the 2 presentations at our city council workshop on March the 2nd at 6 o'clock. And then we will also have one, Doug has his Coffee with the Mayor, which is March 17th. And that's at 8 a.m. and that's over at the library, and that's also open to the public. So if you have anybody out there that gives you any questions with regards to both of the tax issues, want some more information, I highly recommend that you go to one of those 2 presentations. And hopefully there'll be some other ones that they'll be able to do maybe with some other groups, if they're part of those groups.
What time was March 2nd going to be, Darren?
March 2nd is at 6 o'clock. That's our workshop. That's correct. So, and we've gotten endorsements from some other groups as well too, but they're just getting started. That's all I have.
Council comments?
I just want to apologize if I spoke up earlier in assuming it's everyone. It's just my opinions as far as, you know, the neighborhood there. I know you guys have probably gotten emails. The first I heard about it was tonight. But I think it's also, I just want to reiterate the fact that I think there's a lot of free enterprise in this world that can tell you what you can and can't do on your property. And as I am sympathetic for it, again, I just didn't want to say too much and speak for anyone else. So if I did, I apologize. Thank you.
You weren't, Jeff. It's not an easy issue.
No, exactly. I agree. I just, yeah, again, didn't have a whole lot of time to think about it, and I usually say too much, so I'm just apologizing in advance.
If nothing else, I just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Patke, second by Hopemar to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Still out front, so in case. I thought about saying something about the